Hi guys, and welcome back to New Nassau. Got a couple updates for you today. We're going to be talking about the vegetable garden, what's come up since the last time I spoke to you guys, expanding the vegetable garden and digging a hugel mound, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some fruit tree success and failures, and then we are going to talk about the pond. So starting off, we'll step over here to the vegetable garden. So here we are. This is my vegetable garden that is just outside of my cabin. The last time I showed you guys this, the beans and the squash were just starting to come up, and some were really stunted. Like this is a Seminole squash or Seminole pumpkin that I planted in the first round, and it has not done super well, whereas over here you can see that this one really took off. And it's kind of interesting because there were a lot of leaves and then they kind of rotted or they got ate, and now just recently we've seen this beautiful set of leaves really just come up out of nowhere. So that's really exciting. I've also planted a couple more Seminole pumpkin seeds since then. It's really important when you're establishing life in your garden to spread out the planting of your seeds. You don't want to plant everything all at once because there are some pests that will eat your crops. Maybe the temperature isn't right. You kind of learn which spaces work and which spaces don't. So here we have zone 1 of the planting, and then this is also, I think, one of the first ones that I planted, and then these are new ones. So you can see that, and these were planted 2 weeks apart, and they're almost exactly the same. So that's really interesting. Obviously, the beans have been coming up quite well. They've provided some bush and just some life. The root systems are building soil and holding nutrients. And then I'm actually very excited about this because this right here, this is corn coming up. So I finally got some corn plants showing up. That's really exciting. Little baby one right there. And one more coming up. So we have corn coming. I'm going for that Three Sisters combo, and yeah, stay tuned for more vegetable garden stuff. So we're also adding another row to the vegetable garden. So while the guys were digging the pond, I had the big caterpillar come over and dig a big trench, and then we filled it with the trees that had to get knocked down to clear the pond, and then we buried those trees with palm fronds, and now we're filling in the dirt, and it'll then get mulched over with all of that, and we'll have an extension to the garden bed. Here we are back in the vegetable garden. I made that video about a week ago, and then I left town and forgot to film the fruit tree stuff and didn't edit it, so now you're getting a splice of about a week ago. You can see that the beans are kind of dying back. I don't know if that is because of the change in watering, because I had somebody sort of taking care of it for me, or if it's the cooler weather, that stuff is starting to dry out. But you can see that that Seminole pumpkin just exploded in 1 week. So that is all one plant that is going absolutely nuts, and I'm very happy with that. You can see another one also doing really well over here, and you can actually see we've got one pumpkin actually growing, so that's really awesome. Here's the corn that was just little tiny stalks at first, and now they're getting nice and tall, so that's pretty cool. I'm very excited. I don't even really like corn, but I've never grown corn before either, so it's just a strange feeling to be excited for a food that I'm not particularly passionate about. And then over here we have pigeon pea, which is a perennial bush or shrub that'll grow nice and tall. It's a great nitrogen fixer. It's good firewood. It's good protein. And that is taller than my waist. That's almost up to my chest in some low chest, I suppose, in some of these plants. And then I just planted a variety of greens all down this row. So I'm very excited to see them start popping up over the next week or two. Couple different types of lettuces. I got a few free seed varieties from from my seed distributor. Every time you buy a couple packs, they send you something for free. So I've had a couple Japanese greens that they've mailed. So fruit tree success and failures, here we go. This is a Monroe avocado. For whatever reason, nursery bought avocados don't like it here. I buy them and then I put them in the ground, and then after a couple weeks they die back. But this one died back and is growing back, and right here about is where the graft is. Hello, lizard. So that is where you grow a rootstock and then you graft the fruiting variety on top of that. So it's actually, this is still that Monroe avocado, which is great. And it seems to be coming back nicely. So I will actually have a Monroe avocado there. This is a papaya that is hanging in there. And over here we have the failure. This one seems to have died all the way back. So this is all dead. But you can see here, it's like we can scratch off above the graft and there's nothing. It's all brown, it's definitely dead. But if I scratch off right here, you can see that there's still some green there. So I might get lucky and it might sprout from the rootstock again. That will likely not bear very good fruit, but I can graft either the Monroe or a different variety onto that as well. The seeds that I've planted, so these are avocados that were grown from seed, just from the Hass avocados that you'll find at the grocery store, and they seem to do fine. I don't even really water them. There's a Mexican sunflower there in between them, and then another one over there. I have 4 avocados grown from seed that seem to be doing really well. And then over here we have what is called a cotton candy mango. It's supposed to be a very sweet mango variety. This was planted by Carmen Whitford. Shout out to Carmen for donating just an absolutely stunning mango tree. Lots of new growth on this, and I'm very, very happy with how it's doing. So yeah, there's a little bit of the more recent additions to the fruit trees. Brief talk about expanding the garden. We are looking at a second hugel pit. Everything from here to the right, I had the guys with the caterpillar pull out all that dirt, and then I filled it with the trees that had been felled from where the pond is now, and I filled the pit with that, and then I filled it with other dead and dying material, and then I filled it back in, and then I had a couple of bags of lentils and beans and some bird seeds, sunflower seeds, laying around. And so I threw all of those over it. And I actually intended to mulch over it, but then I left for longer than I thought I was going to. And the seeds sprouted anyways, so I'm going to let all of this go. It has cooled down nicely down here, so it shouldn't be too hot to where it's baking the sand and preventing this stuff from growing. And you can see that there are some little bean sprouts and such. So that'll grow, hopefully, as a cover crop. And then I'll mulch over all of it. And all of that will turn into nitrogen, and we'll plant something else here eventually. But yeah, expanding the vegetable garden as well. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know this last one was kind of thrown together. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe so you can check out more videos and see what's to come here at the new Nassau Food Forest. And as always, you can donate to the project on Venmo at New Nassau Food Forest. And I hope to see and hear from you guys soon. Thanks very much again. Have a good day. Namaste.